boys and girls. I'm so excited, and I'm just a little bit sad. But I'm mostly excited that we get to finish our book today. At least I think we'll finish it today. We're at the part where yesterday, when we left off, Ralph was actually talking to Matt at the hotel. And that is interesting because remember, Ralph didn't always talk to adults, just Keith, the boy. But Matt already knew that Ralph existed. And he's like, I saw you on that motorcycle. I saw you riding it down the hallway. And Ralph was like, and then they got scared. Like Keith and Ralph were like, are you going to tell on me? Like, because would that be a good thing or a bad thing for Ralph? That would be a bad thing because the housekeeper is not going to let mice stay in the hotel. That would not be a good idea. And so Matt goes, no, I'm not going to tell on you because you're actually kind of cute just riding that motorcycle down the hallway. And then Ralph goes, if only I could ride the motorcycle. He's kind of sad. Why can he not ride the motorcycle? He already lost it once, so he's probably not going to let him ride it, but let's read it to see what happens, okay? If only I could, thought Ralph. There followed an unusually pleasant day for the mice. Keith stuffed the bacon and toast and jelly through the knothole. The mice feasted on bacon and jelly before the ants could get at them, and stored the toast against the rapidly approaching time when Keith must leave the hotel. Why is Keith going to leave the hotel? Remember, he has to go back home. They came there on a little trip. Do you remember where home is? Ohio. They came on a long road trip from Ohio. And so the mice are storing up food. They slept all morning while Keith alternately napped and played with his cars. For lunch, they enjoyed peanut butter sandwiches again. Ralph did not sleep well that afternoon. He found himself thinking of the tantalizing glimpse he had had of the ground floor and of all the opportunities it offered mice. I like that word. Tantalizing glimpse. I'm thinking of you, Lucas Jones, when I say tantalizing, because I'm thinking that sounds like a word that Lucas would use, and that's a good thing because we love to have big vocabulary words when we talk. He's like, oh, that ground floor, it was so amazing. Tantalizing, it's like inviting. He wants to go there. And all the opportunities it offered mice, crumbs in the dining room, leftovers in the kitchen, scraps in the garbage. He lay daydreaming on a pile of shredded Kleenex. He could see himself on the first floor pilfering crumbs in the dining room at night after the guests were in bed. What does pilfering mean? It means like collecting them, like finding them and keeping them. So he's like, I could go to the dining room. The guests are gone. I could find all these crumbs. It's pretty exciting, huh? And from the dining room, he would go to the kitchen, right past the night clerk, who was sure to be asleep. If only he could make the trip on the motorcycle. The thought of the motorcycle put an end to Ralph's daydream and made sleep impossible. So he's thinking about happy thoughts. He's thinking about the first floor. He's thinking about crumbs. And then he's like, but I would need to ride there on the motorcycle. Oh, the motorcycle. Why does he have bad feelings when he thinks about it? Because the first time he rode it, what did he do? Did he find it or did he lose it? If you said lose it, you were right. He lost it. The thought of the motorcycle put an end to Ralph's dreams and made sleep impossible. After tossing about on his bed of Kleenex, he got up and he poked his head out of the knothole. Keith was awake, lying back on the pillows with his cars beside him. He smiled wanly at Ralph. "How are you feeling?" asked Ralph. "Sort of tired," answered Keith. Ralph climbed through the hole. "Where are your folks? Like, where's Mom and Dad?" "They went out for a little while. They'll be back. I'm supposed to take a nap." "Are you going to?" asked Ralph. "I'd rather talk to you." Keith leaned over and set the motorcycle on the floor. "Want to ride it?" "Do I want to ride it?" Ralph could scarcely believe he heard him correctly. "You mean you'll let me after the way I lost it for you?" "You proved you could be responsible when you brought me the aspirin," explained Keith. "You're more grown up." Ralph is like, "You're going to let me ride it? You would let me? You would trust me?" And Keith is like, "Well, you proved you were responsible. You brought me a pill. Remember that?" "I guess mice grow up faster than boys." Keith sounded as though he longed to grow up rapidly as a mouse. "You grow a little bit every day," Ralph said as he removed his crash helmet from his hiding place behind the curtain. "I guess you're right," agreed Keith. "My dad measures me every 6 months against the door jamb of our kitchen back in Ohio, and each mark he makes is higher than the last. But I never feel myself growing." "You wait long enough and you'll be a grown-up." Ralph felt as if he had said something very wise as he slipped the rubber band on his crash helmet around his whiskers. "I guess so." Keith slumped back in the pillows. "But it takes so long." "I grew up, didn't I?" asked Ralph. "You said yourself I had become a responsible mouse." "Yes, you did," said Keith thoughtfully. "I guess that's part of the secret. Just getting bigger isn't enough. You have to learn things like not taking off down a steep hill on a bicycle when you aren't used to handbrakes, stuff like that." Ralph walked with a slight swagger to the motorcycle, grabbed the hand grips, and threw his leg across the seat. He remembered to pick up his tail before he started. Broom! He took off across the carpet and circled the room, covering the rough parts under the dresser and chair, and coming to a halt, that means he stopped, beside the bed. "She has good balance on a rough road," said Ralph with authority. "She's a mighty fine machine." So Ralph is very happy. Why is he happy? He's getting to what? Ride the motorcycle. He's like, "She's such a good machine. I love it." "Say, Ralph," said Keith, suddenly sitting up, "how would you like to come with me when we leave the hotel?" "Come with you?" Ralph was stunned. He had expected to live and die in Mountain View Inn, and now he was being offered the opportunity to travel that he had dreamed of. "Yes, come with me to San Francisco and then back to Ohio." Ralph's first thought was of the motorcycle. If he went with Keith, he would not have to be separated from the motorcycle. Keith must have sensed Ralph's thoughts because he said he could ride the motorcycle every day. So what does Keith want Ralph to do? To come with me to Ohio. You can ride the motorcycle every day. Do you think Ralph will go? Let's see. Ralph was silent. He had begun to think of other things. His family, the permission he had earned to visit the ground floor, Keith's family, and how they might feel about a mouse. "Come on, Ralph. You could travel in my pocket." Oh my word, friends. Do you think Ralph is going to leave the knothole, leave the hotel, leave his family, and go back to Ohio with Keith? Keith is like, "Come on, I'll put you in my pocket. They'll never know. You can go with me. You can ride the motorcycle every day." What would you do if you were Ralph? Would you stay at the hotel, stay in the knothole with your family, or would you go with the boy back to Ohio? where you could ride the motorcycle every day, have a new family, be grown up. What would you do? Write to me in the comments and we'll finish reading the rest of the story tomorrow. Okay, friends? Good job listening.